as we have each year at the end of these amazing live excursions, I guess it'd be the only way to properly describe it, Tom and I have a chance to wrap up, talk a little bit of what's going on, and for a change, I'm in the right seat, and I don't like it.
You're not comfortable there, are you?
No.
Just keep you on edge a little bit.
Too many memories as an instructor, man. No.
Well, hopefully I'd be able to at least not scare you too badly if that were the case.
I remember scaring you a few times,
well,
so we shall see. There we go. Well, let me throw to you first here.
Okay.
What did you find intriguing, interesting, remarkable, or otherwise noteworthy, or at least didn't make you running away screaming at the top of your lungs?
Well, you know, Jim, everything about this, or 99% of the show has been about ADS-B. And so many people here, whether it's a person that's involved in the association or a member or a company, is kind of looking ahead at that 2020 mandate and trying to get people to make that jump before they absolutely have to. And I think that's been kind of the message from the show here, is that the technology exists, it's here. There are, as we talked with Rick Perry a little bit ago, 1,070 some work days before that deadline hits. So there's absolutely no reason to wait. And the benefits that are coming from having the technology in your cockpit are definitely worth having now. And the cost of it is not as high, particularly when you base it on percentage of airplane cost, that should scare people away from it.
Well, it's been interesting to watch, from, excuse me, from my standpoint, having watched the political side of this start mounting. It's a shame that it became such a political football for a while. There have been programs, and particularly the AEA endorsed NextGen GA fund, that could have helped a lot of people get much further down the way by now, and fairly cost effectively. There are many who are not going to be that interested in the sub $2,000 solution because they're looking for something far more capable, especially when we start getting the high-end GA and biz app. So there's been some very unfortunate warmongering, if you will, about, well, they'll put off 2020, or we don't need to spend $10,000 in our $25,000 airplanes. I'm not disagreeing with the points, but let's face it, the market did what the market had to do. We've got sub $2,000 ADS-B certifiable units ready to go, ready to ship out the door in short order, and you can be legal in no time at all. It is now time to quit talking about the sky is falling and fill the sky with airplanes that are ADS-B compliant and legal doing so. We're going to see, I think, even more ingenuity in this segment. We're seeing smaller, lighter, more capable. We're seeing some very interesting interface issues. We're particularly excited by just the innovative spirit that's come to it. And yeah, the show's been very much ADS. What was one of the lines? This show's being brought to you by the letters ADS and B. It's been very much that. But at the same time, there's still been some really exciting innovation here. The AOA from Aspen, I got such a kick out of that because you don't have to tear your airplane apart to get an AOA.
Right. It's a software upgrade.
And then on the in-flight connectivity issues, excuse me, what GoGo is doing, what a number of others are doing, I know ICG's been very active in that space. There's some very exciting activity right now for high-end GA, for BizAv, and even for light commercial. And as mobile as we need to be, now we can be even more useful while we're being mobile. Pretty neat stuff.
And when you talk about, and I've talked with a couple of folks in that regulatory environment, and when they talk about the benefits of what you can have in your airplane right now with the products that are on the market. And I recall when I first came to you and we started flying again, and I hadn't been in an airplane in a long time. And
after the screaming, you mean?
Yeah, when I finally got my wits back about me and took off the parachute.
Quit trying to pull the parachute.
Yeah. But to be able to look in the cockpit of the airplane and see what was available in terms of traffic awareness, of weather awareness, of things like where the TFRs are, where the restricted airspace is, and all of those things that are available now, or a lot of it, available in a non-subscription model.
Yeah.
And I think that once the pilot community starts looking at that and saying, this is real, because we're with a very few exceptions of the guys who really just want to fly with a slip indicator and a stick, most of us are gee whiz oriented.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of gee whiz out there, but it's not just gee whiz.
Yes.
It's very functional, it's very useful, and it makes for a safer airspace and a safer pilot.
No question about it, although I'm constantly amazed at the fact that the flight training industry seems so reticent to keep up with the tide as far as the panels, as far as the capabilities, as far as some of the information soak that comes in. We need to be teaching pilots to better manage all this information because it can overwhelm you. Mm-hmm. I've had a few moments myself, no question about it. But you know, a good example is just how quickly even those systems have progressed over the last few years. The first generation glass panels versus the next generation were worlds apart. The amount of automation, the amount of almost pseudo AI involved really made the piloting chore a whole lot easier. A good example is Avionics R9, where when you're on approach to Miami and they do the obligatory switch to runway on you, in prior versions of of a number of glass panels, it was a lot of button pushing and a lot of switching and turning. Under that version of R9, to switch over to another runway and another approach took seconds. And we're seeing a lot of that as they adapt to the IFT 540, as other boxes come out, the new generation Garmin, the new generation Aspens. This stuff's getting better by the day, and it doesn't escape my notice that there's always a software revision.
Always.
So pretty neat stuff.
But that's part of it too. You know, I was talking with Mike Adamson just a few moments ago, and one of the things that he felt like part of the resistance to the to going ahead and making the change to get to the mandate was that, well, if I buy this now, is it going to be obsolete in 6 months or less? And what we're seeing with so much of this is that all of that will come in software updates. Yeah. The basic hardware will stay the same. And when you need to upgrade to the latest and greatest, it'll be plug in a thumb drive and upgrade the software as opposed to having to go out, buy a new box, have things rewired, go through all of that. Once you've made this initial investment, then you're going to be good to go for a good number of years.
While we're here, one thing I really wanted to speak about for everybody who's been watching Aero-News and Airborne and Aero-TV for a number of years, we undertook a rather aggressive new initiative. We talked about it a little bit here and there, and then we've just been doing it. We haven't done a lot of bragging because, in my opinion, it's not time. But one of the things that's been interesting as we built not just Airborne Unlimited was the consortium behind it. We've got the first 10 of 117 so far committed associations deployed. These are, with the exception of EAA, mostly small to mid-level associations, and I have been amazed and impressed by the quality of leadership, by the quality of worker, by the quality of organizations that have come. In the next 20 that we'll be deploying shortly after Lakeland, there's an assortment of really spectacular small and mid-level associations that, again, boast tremendous talent. But all that being said, one of the things I wanted to do here at AEA 15 was talk about the talent here. Of all the associations we work with, we would be very hard-pressed to find as committed, as professional, as well-organized an association as AEA has demonstrated itself to us for over decades. And then on top of it, our working relationship with them has been not just good and professional and productive, but fun. Mm-hmm. And I would hope that everybody out there would understand that there are associations for your interest. There are things that pertain and mean a lot to you, to support those people, to investigate who they are, to get involved. If you're in the avionics community, definitely make sure that you are on top of all things AEA, because they're possibly one of the best associations in the business. And that we've been very thankful to work with just tremendously good people whose whole mission in life is to make sure that their community not only makes progress and gets forward and does good business, but builds a better industry as a result of all that. They really are extraordinary.
And I can't but second any or all of those sentiments, Jim, because when we come to this show in particular, they are so welcoming. They make our jobs very easy to come in and do this.
Job? This is a job?
Well,
I refuse to get a job.
Duly noted. But they do make for a great experience,
yeah.
And they make themselves so available. I know you had a good long sit down with Paula Dirks that we brought you in that two-part interview over the past couple of days. Rick Perry.
Yeah, no fisticuffs, no punches, no nothing.
Yeah, and she kept her swearing to a minimum.
I'm telling you. Besides, I know she can just kick my butt. I fear
Absolutely. But Rick Perry and Mike Adamson always come and chat with us, and it's so good to get that insight into what's going on in this industry, because airframes, for better or worse, have not changed in 50 years. This is the dynamic part of the industry right now. We'll see some new airframes, we'll see some new power plants. All of that will come down the road as aviation progresses through the 21st century, but this is where a lot of the innovation is happening, and we're always really just thrilled to be a part of it, and I wholeheartedly concur. This is a great show, and the people are good, the vendors are good, the vendors are accessible, and they're interested in getting information out about the products.
Well, folks, we're going to start to wrap this up. Before we do so, let me recognize the fact that while Tom and I get to stand up here and tell bad jokes and talk to really interesting people and somehow get paid for this, all well and good, believe me, yay. There are some extraordinary people who make this happen. First of all, above and beyond all else, Nathan Cremosino is our producer. He's the head of our Aero-TV unit. We have this running gag about how we're never going to get this done and how this is going to happen and it's going to be difficult, this and that, but the fact of the matter is, it always gets done. And 90% or more of that usually is Nathan Cremosino. The guy has just been phenomenal. Back home, Ashley Hale is in the process of getting ready for Monday's Airborne. We'll be looking at the 9,000th RV, which was just confirmed a little while ago. The Merlin LSA from Glass Air has just flown. We'll be talking about some of the major developments here starting Monday and throughout the week. And then finally, we've had just great crews. We've had a couple of new folks helping with us from the local area. Ra Rhodes has been with us and been working the camera I'm looking at right now. Hi, Ra. Scott Kless has been working the other camera and also filling us in on traffic here in the Dallas area, and hasn't lied at all. It's been
as advertised.
Yes, I so want a helicopter. And my thanks in particular to my wife Misako, who's been running around playing showrunner, getting things done. John Lennon, who was already on his way home. He had to head back to the DC area. God help him. And just a phenomenal amount of people behind the scenes, folks that help us in little bits and pieces. The guy who got the cable we needed, the fellow who shipped the lights that we needed bulbs in a hurry, and the folks at B&H, just
Stan Ross has been a great help too.
And then, well, I was holding him
you were
for
getting there.
Oh right. Yeah. And we've got a new addition to the team, and we have, let's face it, we've beaten him up pretty good.
Yeah.
He's had to deal with our jokes.
Yeah, he got our trial by fire.
Yeah. And so Stan Ross, you'll be seeing him more and more with the Aero News crew. It's been a great week. Everybody has pulled their own. There's no question that it is Miller time at whatever time we cut off +1. But for the Aero-News Network, Airborne and Aero-TV, we thank you for your continued viewership and readership. There's more coming. You'll be seeing some of our coverage from the National Association of Broadcasters next week as we look at the UAV industry. We will be at Lakeland, second year in many, many years. And then on top of it, AUVSI and the Arsenal of Democracy coming up in May. A lot coming up. We're having a good time bringing it to you. And more important than anything else, making sure that the world of aviation gets the attention, the care, the professionalism that it not only deserves, but frankly, more than anything else, that the rest of the world needs to see. Share it, folks. Tom, any last words?
Just thank you for the opportunity to be here. Always a pleasure to come out and hang out with you guys and see what's going on in this business. And it has been a great deal of fun to come out and enjoy this show and hang out with the folks from AEA. And of course, I'll second all of those comments from the crew that we've worked with. Nathan is always an outstanding help. Misako and Stan and our camera guys here, whose names I probably...
Camera guys 1, camera guys 2.
Yeah, thing 1 and thing 2. We're all good.
Rod and Scott.
Rod and Scott, really appreciate your help. Been a very professional operation here, and you don't always get that when you hire contract talent when you go into a city. So you guys have done a great job. Thank you very much.
And in particular, next time we're in Dallas, we'll call. Alrighty, folks, for the Aero-News Network, Airborne and Aero-TV, we have been live at the 58th Annual International AEA Convention and Trade Show. It's been real, it's been fun, it's been live, it's Miller +30. Take care, everybody. We'll see you next time around.
Aero-News Network's coverage of the 58th Annual AEA International Convention and Trade Show, live from Dallas, Texas, is brought to you in part by the following sponsors.
Now certified, Aspen Avionics single-band ADS-B, ATX100 and ATX100G transceivers are the next-gen ADS-B solution that provides the features pilots need while keeping flyaway costs low. Check it out now at aspenavionics.com.
Avidyne provides innovative avionics solutions for general aviation aircraft, including the IFD 540 and IFD 440 FMS GPS navcoms with geofill, hybrid touch, and full ADS-B capability.
The KSN 770 is an affordable, WAS-enabled integrated MFD with a flexible hybrid user interface from Bendix King. Get your fingers on the 770's perfect blend of touchscreen and hard buttons. Easily control your GPS navigation, navcom, weather, traffic, and terrain in any condition. For more information, go to bendixking.com.
The IntelliFlight 2100 digital flight control system is the perfect complement to today's integrated flight decks and is certified on the King Air and Conquest. It will now interface to a single EFIS and a mid-continent SAM 302 unit for a low-cost complete panel upgrade. Contact us at www.genesis-aerosystems.com.
An interactive links application is available in the Apple and Android app stores. This free app is a virtual simulation of the Lynx NGT 9000 touchscreen cockpit display that lets pilots interact with the unit as if they had a real system in their hands. The app covers the entire Lynx family of ADS-B products, including features and options to help customers decide which Lynx model is right for their needs.
True Blue Power Advanced Lithium-Ion Mainship batteries feature proprietary nanophosphate technology. They deliver 3 times the energy density and are more than 40% lighter than lead-acid or NiCad alternatives. RTCA tested, FAA certified, available to OEMs today. NavWorks makes ADS-B affordable. Certified or experimental, NavWorks gives you high-quality next-gen avionics solutions that dramatically increase your situational awareness. Check us out now on the web at www.navworks.com.
The debate is no longer about upgrading GA aircraft with NextGen, it's about financing it. The NextGen GA Fund is about doing just that. Find out more at www.nextgenfund.com.